Hello and welcome to another build video. In this one we're gonna do the finishing touches of our A800R build, so let's get to it. First we're gonna take care of the P64 rear body mount. Using shims here is the way to adjust the rake of the body shell, so the angle of the whole body. And I would therefore suggest running at least some shims here to give you some leeway to go either up or down with the rear body mount. So you have some margin to go both ways, especially if you end up messing up your rear body holes. At least you have some margin to go both ways. So let's go with 1mm shim here as a starting point. Like so. That's all there is to it. Let's move on to the front bumper. Using the included front bumper is perfectly fine, and it's actually the lightest option out there, and it still is my personal favorite. But I like to give it a bit of a chamfer just for looks. To achieve it, you're gonna need a very sharp knife. I put a fresh blade into it, so we're gonna cut a bit of a chamfer to it, and if you do have a fresh blade, it's really gonna go through like butter in it. So I like to break all the edges like so. And then with some very aggressive sandpaper, this is 80 grit, just smoothen the edges like so. And with that done, I just like to grab a cigarette lighter and reseal the surface. And that's it. I think that gives it a bit of a sleeker look, and because the body is slightly angled, it allows the foam to sit a little bit better against the bumper. But if you don't want to go through all this, another option is to use this Maxler 3D printed rubber version. It is a bit heavier and therefore will reduce a bit the potential for steering of the car. It's a bit more durable, and it offers better protection for both your car and body shell. As you can see, it can deform quite a lot and return it in its original position. Very good stuff. So let's just pop it on top of the bumper support. And when it comes to the bumper top plate, you have the option to cut this little brace here, which is gonna allow a bit more front bulkhead flex, which will slightly tame the steering response of the car while increasing mid-corner rotation. So to do so, just grab a pair of side cutters and remove it. Like so. So let's pop it on top of the bumper with a pair of 8mm button head screws. And when it comes to the front body posts, they are purposely oversized to accommodate any body shell on the market, so you're gonna have to trim them to fit your needs. So what I like to do is either cut them with a pair of side cutters, and you can either be happy with that finish, or I like to go one step further and pop them on top of a Dremel and sand them flush for a better finish. It's a bit of a messy and loud process, so I went ahead and did it already. So just pop them in like so with 10mm burner head screws. And with that done, we can install it onto the chassis. So it's two 6mm button head screw on the top and one 8mm flathead at the bottom. Moving on, let's install the battery hooks. Included in your kits, you'll find these P23Rs plastic hooks. They are the most lightweight option available, and therefore are perfectly suited for the heavier kind of batteries used in stock class. So for 280 grams or above, they are actually perfect. For lighter battery type, used either indoor or modified like ULCG or Shorty, then you'll need the optional brass mounts. So either BW22R for ULCG sticks or BW52R for Shorties. Also available is the adjustable battery holder set, as well as these AT144 battery clamps for those who want to add a bit more bling to their cars. These come just a few grams heavier than their plastic counterparts, but they also allow more fine-tuning of the battery positioning. So if you want to move the battery further inwards or outwards, this is your best option. So let's pop these in with 8mm flathead screws. And next we want to adjust the lateral play of the battery. So you see there is no retainer in the middle. So two options: either use a combination of a button head screws and spacers. I know that in my case with these batteries, 3 black shims is a good approximation. So 5.25 millimeter. The play you want to achieve is around 0.2 to 0.4 millimeter. So you see I do have a bit of play, but another option I like to use is to go with a long 10mm flathead screw and some thread lock. That way I have an infinitely adjustable battery stopper, which can come in very handy when you change battery size and so on. So you can really make sure you have the perfect amount of play in your battery. And that's obviously too much play. A good way to check how much play you have is to use the included filler gauge set on 0.4, and you want kind of a snug fit. No, that's actually not enough for my taste. Alright, pretty good. And next we're gonna need to find the correct amount of shims to go below the battery holders. Again, to set the vertical play of the battery. In my case, I know that 3.75 is a pretty good starting point. And again, we are looking at 0.2 to 0.4 millimeter of play here. In many ways, too much play is better than not enough. Especially for high power applications such as boosted stock or modified, where the batteries tend to puff a lot during the run when they get hot. And you absolutely don't want any binding of the flex due to the battery swelling. So here you see I have a bit more than 0.4, and here it's perfect. But just by feel, I like this play a lot, so I'm gonna leave it like so. And it's really important to check after the run that the battery can still move around a touch. Again, you really want to minimize the influence of a battery on flex during the run. And last but not least, we can install these P68 adjusters. So depending on the orientation, you change the fore and aft play of the battery. So you have 4 different orientation for 4 different lengths by 0.25 increments. And I know that in my case, I will use only one in the shortest position. I'm gonna install it at the front. Like so, and now I have the perfect amount of play in my battery. Alright, that's about it. It is ready for electronic installation and setup station. Looking more and more like a finished product. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed the video and see you guys in the later one. Ciao, ciao.